What EQ settings fix difficult to understand podcast voices? Imagine trying to listen to a podcast where the host sounds muffled or like they are speaking from inside a barrel. It can be frustrating and make the content hard to follow. The secret to fixing this often lies in the right use of equalization, or EQ. EQ is all about adjusting different parts of the sound spectrum so voices come through clear and natural. When voices are hard to understand, it usually means some frequencies are too loud or too quiet. Every voice has a mix of low, mid, and high frequencies. The low frequencies below 200 Hz can make a voice sound muddy or boomy. To fix this, start with a high-pass filter, also called a low-cut filter, set around 80 Hz. This removes unnecessary bass rumble that can cloud the sound. If the voice still sounds thick or boomy, especially for male voices, gently cut around 200 to 240 Hz. This reduces the boominess without making the voice thin. Next, look at the room reflections and boxiness, which often show up between 300 Hz and 1000 Hz. Cutting a small amount in this range can make the voice sound more direct and less like it was recorded in a big empty room. The most important range for clarity is between 2000 and 4000 Hz. Boosting slightly here can make words sharper and easier to understand because our ears are most sensitive to these frequencies. This is why telephone calls focus on this range for clarity. High frequencies above 4000 Hz add brightness and air to the voice. But too much can make the sound harsh or sibilant, which is the hissing sound on words like S or SH. To avoid this, gently roll off the top end above 10 to 12,000 Hz. This smooths out the sound without losing the natural brightness. When adjusting EQ, start with a high-pass filter at around 80 Hz to clear out rumble. If the voice sounds muddy, cut a little in the 200 to 240 Hz range. To reduce roominess, make a small cut in the 300 to 1000 Hz range. Boost slightly in the 2 to 4000 Hz range to improve clarity. If the voice becomes harsh or sibilant, gently cut or shelf above 10,000 Hz. Always listen carefully as you make these changes because small adjustments can make a big difference. Using compression can help even out volume levels, making quiet words easier to hear and preventing loud parts from sounding harsh. Noise reduction tools can remove background hiss or hum, but use them carefully so you don't introduce artifacts. Recording in a quiet, treated space and positioning the microphone about 6 to 12 inches from the mouth, slightly off to the side, helps keep the sound clean and clear. Remember, no single EQ setting works for every voice. The best approach is to listen closely and adjust based on what you hear. For a deep male voice, you might need more cuts in the low-mid range. For a higher-pitched voice, a slight boost in the presence range can help. Apply EQ after noise reduction and before compression to get the best results. EQ is a powerful tool to fix difficult-to-understand podcast voices. By targeting specific frequency ranges, removing muddiness, reducing roominess, and boosting clarity, you can turn a muffled or boomy recording into a crisp, engaging sound. Trust your ears, make small changes, and remember that each voice is unique.